Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Before we kick off today's scenario, I want to ask you to check if you are subscribed to the channel, because it has come to my attention that quite a few of you are not. If you aren't, then please hit subscribe, it really helps out my channel as you get more notifications about my videos. Now today we have a really tricky scenario. It was sent in by Kryštof Jukin. In an alternate timeline, Germans have managed to secure Europe during World War II. However, the actual war was still going on and there were only 4 nations at play. The USA, Japan, Russia and the Germans. The stakes have been quite high, but there has been a small oversight by one nation. That is a nation of your choice between the 4 still standing. The nation has only HE shells remaining for their naval artillery guns. Oops. They did, however, build very recently 3 large battleships with the latest tech that were supposed to be serving the war as a mobile artillery platform for ground-based support. However, while making their way to the assigned destination, they have encountered a large naval fleet heading to the homeland of that particular nation. You are the last line of defense before they will reach the shores of your land and eliminate your nation from the rest of the war. Lovely. So I only get to use high explosive shells. I can only use guns of 15 inches or lower. There goes my plan for 18-inch guns. You cannot use torpedoes. There goes that plan. You are supposed to be in ships designed to be an artillery platform. So design and that idea. Range of the ships is to be set to long and speed is not to be less than 25.5 knots. Yes, this is going to be an interesting choice. Now, I will be fighting Germany. I'm not sure exactly why Germany would want to try and do an attack on mainland Japan, but here they are, and we'll have to deal with them as we can see. 3 battleships versus 4, plus 5 battlecruisers, plus 5 heavy, plus 7 lights is going to be a tricky fight, especially since I only have high explosive. But I do want to take on this scenario, even though I think it's fairly impossible, just to see how well I can do. Now, time to supersize this ship. 25.5 is fine. Range was supposed to be what? Long? Yeah, range must be set to long. Bulkheads to many. I always end up going for double-geared steam turbines. I know it gets a bit boring, but I still find them to just be better than diesel engines. Diesels are great if you need to go anywhere, let's say for an extended duration. But geared turbines just give you the most horsepower per ton. So once again, I'm going to go with the geared steam turbines. Maybe balanced boilers is enough. I do want to have a lot of repairs on this ship. I also want to have a large torpedo blister. Let's go for standard barbette thickness. Why standard and not heavy or even extreme? Well, they're floating artillery batteries supposedly doing land duty or land support duty. And that would mean that there was probably going to be a support fleet around these things. Where that support fleet exactly went, I don't know. But at the moment, it is not available. So it is just going to be, well, us. Let's go for super heavy shells. Increased complement. I am thinking of going for Lyddite 2. It has a fairly high chance of flash fires at plus 40, but it also does the most amount of HE shell fire. It's 75% HE shell fire chance, 35% HE shell damage, and just flat out 37% shell damage. The other ones do not really serve me that well, especially 2 powder because it has a debuffed HE shell fire chance. TNT and high TNT... It's 25% HE shell damage, it's a bit more shell damage flat, and most importantly it has less flash fire chance. But I really want to just overwhelm the enemy with fires. Generation 2 radar, stereoscopic rangefinder, let's go with, well, at this point they have a 790 meter turning circle, which I think is still fairly good, but we're not going to maintain that. And it's only going to get up and up and up as I fill up more of the ship with more displacement. Good lord, that thing's heavy. 5250 versus 1680. They do have +7 long-range accuracy. These do not get a long-range accuracy bonus. Base aiming speed, 27.5, 24. Bit higher base accuracy. Bit higher damage control. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll go with that. Funnel. I hope that one... Really? One medium funnel then? It's probably not going to be enough. 55. 67, Still not a big fan. The problem is that I don't really want to change this pagoda tower. And if you were to go with a modern tower 2, you would be able to go with a funnel inside that, but I don't really want to. So I would have to have another funnel over here. And that puts my engine efficiency at 100. But it also means that we don't have as much space for turrets over here. Yeah, this is going to look weird, but it's just the way it's going to be. Now, there are no destroyers that I have to worry about, which is fortunate. Let's go for a tall superimposed. Hold on, can we put a standard 15-inch gun on that? Okay, you can do that. The thing does stick out a bit, but you can do it. This is going to be a lot of 15-inch guns. As many as I can fit on, basically. That's 12 barrels right there. That's a start. It's still weird to say that that is just the beginning. It's just going to be guns, 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 guns. Up until the point where we cannot have any more. I got 4 out of 7 here and 4 out of 6 there on the side guns. Four weight offset's pretty bad. Now we're down to 2.9. 1.9. Theoretically, we have a broadside of 12 guns on the bow. 15, 18, 21, 24. 24 barrel broadside. That should make a bit of an impression on the enemy. Range 33 clicks max. I hope that's going to be enough. Against the light cruisers and heavy cruisers, I'm thinking that an 8-inch secondary battery might be interesting. But either party is too close to those turrets. That is really unfortunate. Oh, I can put some over here. Hold on, can I put 8-inch on there? No. 6? 6 is possible. 7? No. Okay, 6 triple. That's the only spot where I can put those. Oh well, at least they have somewhat of a super firing capability above those 15-inch triple. Yeah, I can fit 5 in there, but probably not 6. Really? Okay, I can fit 6 in there. Not 7s. The 6 triple fire out to a range of 14.4. What accuracy exactly they have at that range remains to be seen. I might not be too impressed with that. Reload's quite long indeed. There, that helps. Reload's now 11 seconds. Reload on these is 36 seconds. Well, we are firing super heavy shells. If one of these hits your ship, it does 16,875 damage, minus whatever sort of armor you have going. Now, there is one issue, and that's that I only have about 1,800 tons left to work with to put on more armor. And the ship barely has any. I really consider that to be a big problem. Because if the Germans come out with a couple of super battleships, and they very well might, then I don't really have a good play to defend against those. At least not armor-wise. Okay, we carry 405 gun or ammo per gun per turret. Unfortunately, since these are wing turrets, the ammo does not get spread out. How many more main guns can I place? Just the one. Nah, this is too good to give up. Screw it, we're going in. This is the super heavy artillery platform Kaga. What did the enemy AI build for me? Or rather, against me? Doesn't seem like that big of a ship. Famous last words there. Hold on a minute. Visual identification. There are the battleships. No visual torpedo launchers. Interesting turret setup over there. Secondary. Okay. These... Oh, no. No, 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 no. I don't like that at all. They might be heavy cruisers, they might be battle cruisers, I'm not sure yet. I think they're battle cruisers. These are probably heavy cruisers. They're just a tad smaller. Then we have light cruisers. No, that's barely a light cruiser. That's one of those torpedo cruisers again. I'm thinking these need to go first. Not the battleships. These need to go first. Hello, what are you? No torpedo tubes. Okay. Right. Well, let's see what I can do with these large artillery platforms. At this angle, I can probably get almost all the guns to bear. So let's do that. We got the battleships Shinyo, Junyo, and Kaga. And we are ready for a fight, even if it is only with high explosive. Unfortunately, the turrets are hydraulic, so it's going to take me a little while longer than I would have hoped to get those to fire at the target. And the accuracy at this point is dreadful, at a mere 4%. But we do have 1,600 shells per ship. And I imagine that if they hit one of those battle cruisers, or whatever ship we're firing at, they might do a fair amount of damage. Because they do have that very high shell base damage of 16,875. I just hope that the enemy doesn't have too many bulkheads. Because if they're able to put these ships on fire and just burn them down, then that's going to work great. I think that that's really my only play here. Just hope that I can burn them down. Accuracy's dropping. 5. There we got 4, 4, and 4 again, because this ship is maneuvering. This one is not. New target. Could be a heavy cruiser. Identification is 11% in. Oh, we got the first hit. Light cruiser. Yeah, definitely light cruiser. No visible torpedo tubes, as previously established, but that does not mean that they're completely harmless. Accuracy's decent, 7%-ish. Fire set on one of the heavy cruisers, and another one. Triple fire. But they don't seem to care much. I'm getting hit by 16-inch guns, assumedly from the battleships. And it looks like Shinyo's already taking some hits. She's down to 94%. Kaga also taking hits, down to 88%. Now we got a decent hit on one of these heavies. Once again, ship is burning. High explosive only. Well, actually when it pens, it does a bunch of damage. Ship is starting to flood. This is a heavy cruiser. Aside from the light cruisers, this is the least of my problems. Jesus, you're down to 66%? These things are getting killed off very quickly. And it goes for all of them. We're also getting hit by 14-inch now, penetrating mid-deck Bow deck. Belt. No, sorry, that was my shell. This is the problem with not having mostly deck armor. You just don't survive anything. Flash fire on Junyo. Flash fire on Shinyo. That's the courtesy of having those Lyddite 2 propellant charges. This is not good. Another flash fire on Shinyo and on Junyo. This is going to be over real quick. I have done 2.5k. They have done 5.1. Where's that heavy? Here. Well, we almost killed off one heavy cruiser at the expense of 3 super battleships. Good lord, that's depressing. This is really not going well. Damage to main gun. Well, you can kiss your turret goodbye then. There we go, flash fire. Another one. How many turrets do you have left, Junyo? You've already popped 3 wing turrets? Good god, man. We still haven't even properly identified the ship. Alright, let's do some damage against the battleship. I just want to see what high explosive can do. Right now it's more about science than anything else. I just want to see if you can do any kind of effective damage with HE against the battleship. I don't think so. I really don't. Okay, that was not too bad. Huh. Destroy the funnel. Start another fire. More fire. More. More. More fire. 80%. Destroy the secondary. At this point, almost all of the ships are gone. Another fire. Okay, we are whittling it down pretty quickly. Even if it is only high explosive. Another fire. Please tell me that this is in fact a battleship, yeah? That I'm not just trying to sink something else. Another fire. 93% ID. 94. .98. Come on. Tell me what I'm shooting at. It's a battlecruiser. It's not even a battleship. Damn it. So these are the 14-inch ships. Few bulkheads. So that means that the battleships... Hello, are you a battleship? Yeah, you're a battleship. Right there. You're carrying the big guns. You're carrying the 16-inch guns. Alright, can we get rid of the Oldenburg? See, the fires do spread throughout the ship, somewhat. But overall, it just seems to be capable of putting it out faster than I can start them. I was hoping one of those ships lost due to excessive fire, but I'm not getting it. Another couple of fires. Damage to another main gun. Battleships have been identified. We got the Wetten, the Kaiser Friedrich, Beowulf, and something else. Because there are a lot of them. We're now getting flooding on the Oldenburg. She has anti-flood 3. But her damage control party might be a bit overworked. So that flooding is probably going to keep up for a while. Another fire or two. Damage to the secondary tower. She's still flooding. A few bulkheads are going to exacerbate that problem. I've done 9.2 versus 7.9 slash 8k that they're now at. There we go. Structural damage. You just got your ass handed to you with HE. Now to see what I can do against the battleship. Against the Wetten. Many bulkheads. Aux 4. Oh, lovely. That's even better anti-fire repair. 2 compartments on fire. Let's just put it on fast, see what happens. Yeah, see? Fire, 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 but the damage is relatively little. Our chance to hit's great. 24%, 32%. That's perfect. Unfortunately, all the ships are doing something stupid. %, 87%. It looks like I'm starting to do a bit more damage relative to the damage that I'm taking, but it's still shaky. 84. What's my chance to pan? 45 with AP. With HE, not so much. 6-inch secondaries target the the destroyer, the light cruiser. Heavy cruisers have been identified. Those are the torpedo wielding ones. 70%, 69%, 68%. See, we're not really setting any fires. It's just 3 or 4. And at this point, we're pushing in, trying to close the distance, which really doesn't benefit HE that much. There we go, flash fire. I'm going to run the scenario again, but this time firing AP, because I'm really curious to see what the difference would be. See, all these salvos, they do very little. 4, 6, 4, 6.5, 3. High explosive against battleships armor just doesn't work. High explosive against a light cruiser, yeah, that's a different story altogether. That'll probably cut through it very quickly, if I can hit it. I just want to see how badly I can hit one of these heavy... No, so... Oh, see, there you go, light cruisers. I wasn't even targeting the München. But she got hit. Excessive fire. No, extensive fire. Come on. How many turrets do we still have left? Quite a few. There goes Geyer. See, the light cruisers are perfectly capable of getting almost one shot. I hit it for 3,807 damage. You simply cannot get the same result against the battleship, let alone one that you can barely hit. Battlecruiser von der Tann is next. What about the heavy cruisers? Many bulkheads. Not that effective, these ships. I thought it was an interesting scenario just to try out. Is this viable? Just using high explosive only? The answer is definitely no, it is not. Well, with a caveat. No, it is not if you're fighting battleships. If you're fighting light cruisers and heavy cruisers and destroyers, then absolutely. But if I'm fighting just battleships, then as you have seen, I do 5 damage, 6 damage, 5 damage, 4 damage. It just doesn't really add up. Even with all the guns that I have had on my artillery platforms. So that didn't work out too well. Now let's run the same experiment with armor piercing. What? Same propellant. Propellant's going to be lyddite again. Let's see. Of course we'll be getting different opponents. Same number, different type. All ships fire armor piercing only. We're already dialed in at 8.3. So that's probably battleships. Yep, first hit. Hello, boys. Huh. You don't seem as tough. Ooh. Good hit. 184, 124. We got Sagami, Unyo, and Kaga. Just the broadsides on these things, those are really nice. Just imagine the noise of the guns going off if you were on one of these ships. Whether you're below decks or in the bridge, that must have been a hell of a lot of noise. So far, 525 damage versus 65 taken. Pretty good. Another fire or 3. Oh, we're hitting a different ship now. Is that even the target? Or do you just happen to get in the way? I'm not sure. I thought it was targeting these guys, because we're dealing decent damage against these, but why was this ship getting hit? Destroyed casemate, fire. These are definitely worse battleships than the ones that I was facing a moment ago. Definitely not as impressive. And I'm still not even sure which one we're trying to hit. Oh, goodbye. Because it seems like we were trying to hit this one, but this one ended up taking the hits. Yeah, see, this is the one that the AI has selected as a target. And I'm now taking hits from 15-inch guns. Another salvo. Oh, hold on a moment. I think that the wing turrets and the main armaments, let's say the centerline guns and the wing turrets, are having different target selections. So the wing turrets are engaging one target, and the main centerline guns are engaging another. That's why we're seeing shells hit battleships. What I'm thinking is a battlecruiser, and why all ships at the same time are starting to take damage. See, AP is massively more effective. 10,000 damage scored versus 585 taken. Now the 585 or 626 currently taken is of course not something that I can really influence. That more so has to do with what the AI has crafted. But the amount of damage that I've outputted is telling. It is just a hell of a lot more than the damage that I did with the high explosive. Destroyed main gun, rudder damaged, fires and floodings. Range to the ships, still 17 clicks. 12,000 damage done, 728 taken. 6-inch guns are still not in range. ID 92. We're still not quite sure, except about the heavy cruisers. Oh crap, they have torpedoed me. Well, let's say hard to port. Insofar as you can go hard to port with a ship this heavy. Ah, we got the ID. Prince Adalbert, standard amount of bulkheads. Battlecruiser Friedrich Karl is falling back, and so is the Prince Eitel Friedrich. These guys are trying to limp back behind the Guben, I think. It looks like the Medusa. Medusa is not an actual target, but she was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And a couple shells aimed at the Prince Adalbert actually hit her. Now, again, I don't want to imply that an armor-piercing shell is always better than a high-explosive shell. But in situations like these, they are. If I was facing a bunch of destroyers and I had 15-inch guns, I would be probably flying HE all the way. Because those would just be far more effective, and they could probably one-shot one of those ships. If you're looking at a battleship or a battlecruiser, something with a serious amount of armor, it just doesn't compute. It doesn't work out. Ah, the 6-inch guns are firing. 15-inch guns have selected both heavy cruisers. And now also the 6-inch are engaging heavy cruisers. Have we spotted torps? Yes, we have. Oh, there are a lot of those incoming. Rudder midships. Not too optimistic about your chances of dodging. Yeah, see, this damage is getting ramped up pretty quick. Looks like the Comet is going down pretty soon because either flooding or just sheer amount of damage. But I think it might be flooding. Just because of minimum bulkheads. Kaga. Ooh, she could dodge this. Yeah, she's fine. There is more inbound though. But I might have just turned a bit... and maybe a bit enough to avoid. Good. Maybe there's hope yet. Flash fire on Comet. Comet did launch another broadside underwater salvo. Structural damage. Okay, so structural did win out. New target, heavy cruiser Vidar. See, with you I want to try high explosive, Kaga. Oh, never mind, there won't be a ship left. Gone. Extensive fire. But I did hit that thing with armor piercing. Yeah. Penetration, penetration, penetration. It was not high explosive that I fired. Not that high explosive can't penetrate the target, but the salvos that were in the air when I clicked high explosive, they were armor piercing, all of them. Uh-oh. Looks like the Sagami is going to take some torps. There goes Cormoran. Next target, heavy cruiser Thuringia. Couple torps hit the Sagami, but she has a very good torpedo belt, so I'm not too worried. Thuringia, look at that ship. Floodings and fires galore. Gone. Does that conclude their heavy cruiser group? Yeah, I believe it does. Next up, Battlecruiser Gubin. Good lord. Once you have 15 inch at close range and you have this number of guns, even if your pan chance is about 50-50, you just overwhelm them with the sheer amount of guns that you have. Here. Boom, 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 boom. 20 hits. Gone. Flash fire. Next target. Next target is the Battlecruiser. 6-inch guns on the Stettin, please. So the Oldenburg is now the new target. Fires and floodings, standard complement of bulkheads. Oh shit, I got a flash fire. Not my first one either. That's 2 turrets gone. I've inflicted 40,000 points of damage. I've taken 4,000. 4.5. This is the difference between high explosive and armor piercing. And pushing in. Instead of just moving away. Now fair enough, the battleships probably have some smaller guns. These are 15-inch and fewer of them, as opposed to 16-inch and larger battleships. Looks like that battlecruiser has seen better days. She got hit for another 10 times. I don't know if I can win with the ships that I still have left, but I'll definitely do a lot of damage before I go down. Starting with the Oldenburg. The light cruisers are, well, they're pretty safe to ignore because they don't have any kind of torpedoes. Saxon is taking hits. That's a battleship. Flooding from bow to stern. Standard complement of bulkheads. Schwalbe. Heavy flooding. Ah, okay. A few bulkheads. Yeah, that's not a good idea for a light cruiser. Oh crap. Saxon flooded. I don't think that the Kaga might make it. Hello. We need to have a word with these battlecruisers. Shit, another flash fire. Oldenburg's down. Okay, we did not get rammed. That's good. Ooh, the Kurfürst Friedrich Wilhelm is still perfectly fine. Pommern, not so much. Alright then. It's gonna take me a bit of time to swing the guns all the way around. But once they're all the way around, I can definitely quickly... Oh damn, that was fast. I can definitely quickly weaken that battlecruiser. So the Pommern went down. What got you? Flash fires. Ah. Because I was going to say, it was not going to be my damage. Couldn't have been, not that quick. Chance to pen, 30%. But a lot of guns. You know what, I might actually make it. I might actually win it. There goes another battlecruiser. You get to target the Friedrich, and you get to target the Eitel. Another Friedrich. A couple of fires. Main turret's been destroyed. What do you want? Get out of here, little one. More floodings. Ship's quickly taken on water. Damage done, 64k versus taken 8k. Both battlecruisers are taking serious blows and will probably not be here in the next 5 minutes. I'm not sure if the Kaga is going to survive this encounter though. She has taken a lot of damage. But once we're done with the battleship and the battlecruisers, it's just mopping up a couple of lights and we're done. So, interesting scenario with the high explosive, but armor piercing is insanely more effective. Just way, way better. Next target is the battleship. Yep, fire and flooding. Even the 6 inches going after the battleship, I don't like that too much. Oh, I seem to have lost a few turrets on the bow. But the stern, not so much. There goes the battleship. Ammo detonation. Incredible. Friedrich Karl slips beneath the waves. Hold on, whose torpedoes were those? Yours. That's uncalled for. I don't really expect it to do terrible amounts of damage because it's going to strike me towards the stern onto the blister 71. Ooh, Medusa, you are lucky, girl. I'm gonna let the ships pick their own targets for once. That's gonna be the end of that light cruiser. Flooded, dead. Next. Kaga, what do you have in mind? You're targeting Strasbourg. So many guns, so little hits. Sorry, I know technically it's so few hits. 951 damage, loads of flooding. You can tell that good light cruiser to piss off as well. Next up is the Nymph. Well, was the Nymph. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between firing armor piercing and firing high explosive. And again, yes, they are different ships. They are not as dangerous as the previous encounter. But with the high explosive against the battleship, you saw how little it did. With the armor piercing against this version of the battleship, utterly destructive. Utterly destructive. So that's done. 86,000 damage done, 8,000 damage taken. Interesting scenario. Not terribly viable to go with HE only. But now we know. Anyway, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to watch the next video as well. And I shall catch you guys soon for another video.